Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
Nine pepper.
and today we are giving our first impressions of Great Western Trail El Paso, which is kind of a smaller box version game of Great Western Trail, which is a game I think we've both played at least a time or two, but it's been a while since I've played it. So I was like, oh, we'll see how this one is, see how approachable it is, if it's an easier version of it, because it is a pretty it's a more complex game. It's not the most complex. It makes sense. You're kind of going around a trail and taking action spots along the way. Makes sense. But yeah, we gave this one a go on Board Game Arena. You can see here. Pepper's actually got our gameplay up of it, and yeah, we this was thought it'd be a good one to try out because I think is it in full mode now, or
I
was this
think
one still in
so.
beta?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. But yeah, it is similar to what I remember from Great Western Trail, where you are still kind of going on these action tiles kind of around this board and kind of ending up in where El Paso? Is that where
I
you end up?
yes.
And then you're managing kind of your deck of cards, which has the different cattle types in it, along with the different types of what are the acquaintances, helpers, helper cards there,
Yep,
which
workers.
they're kind of three different workers. So you got three different types there, and then you got a wild one that can be any of them, and you kind of start with those in your hand. So I think that's a little bit different because I think like I said, it's been a while since I played Great Western Trail, but that one I think you're kind of adding them throughout the game and kind of it's becoming more powerful. In this one, you can kind of use them at any point for kind of that little, they have a little bonus on them, or you can utilize them to kind of take the probably big three actions in the game, I would say different at different powers depending on how many of them you use. So you can kind of purchase those throughout the game to gain more, and then once you use them, they go to your discard pile just like your normal cards would, and they'll get reshuffled into your deck, and they kind of just come out as so it won't be part of your hand. It'll just kind of go into your little tableau area when they do come out. So you'll keep drawing until you've got your number of cards, and then uh, kind of similar to Great Western Trail. Kind of once you get to El Paso, you will score your hand based on kind of the values on those cards. And you'll kind of go around there multiple times until the end of the game. Uh, but from what I remember, I'll say this did feel like a much more approachable, easier version of Great Western Trail. Would you agree with that? From
Well,
what you
I have
remember?
not played a Great Western Trail.
I thought you played it the one time on here.
I have not. That I remember, at least. So
I'm gonna go look at your past games on
I'm
there.
gonna have to. And then you'll be like, you contacted someone from Board Game Arena and wiped the slate clean.
That's exactly what I'm gonna accuse you of.
But yeah, I have not played that, so I
Okay.
think this is my. It seems somewhat familiar. I think I like looked into how to play it once, so it's like vaguely familiar how to play that. But this is kind of my main entry into Great Western Trail, and I will say it does feel definitely more approachable than what I envisioned Great Western Trail to be.
Because yeah, in this one, there you can kind of just go along the path, and you can build the building spaces kind of in the empty ones and overbuild them, and then they're kind of your own buildings, so other people can go on them, but then they can only take the extra action kind of options. They don't actually get to take the action on there. I'm trying to. It's been a while. I feel like you had to like pay the person if you went over their tile or something. There was like more of a payment kind of thing for going over certain areas that I feel like so I'm like this one felt much less tight than that,
Oh, yeah.
and um
I like
and
that. I like the sound of that.
I,
It being nicer in this one.
yeah, it is nicer, and then you can kind of it felt like in this one I could kind of do what I wanted and
Yep.
kind of just get along. I don't. It felt like it was maybe missing missing something that kind of brought Great Western Trail that next level, I thought, from what I can remember. Um, and maybe it is that kind of tightness, whatever that brought to it versus this, because it did kind of feel like you could just kind of go around, but it
Yeah.
felt like we were, I don't know, I don't remember Great Western Trail feeling like I'm just kind of doing the same exact action around each single time, every single time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
maybe it was that way. Maybe it's just been so long ago that I just have, rose tinted glasses on, and it was people on here will be like, "Oh, Great Western Trail, you always do the same actions over and over." I am not anywhere near a professional Great Western Trail player, but yeah, this one it definitely felt like I was just kind of doing kind of the same things each time, and then it was kind of a little bit sometimes dependent on those kind of worker cards and whether or not you got them out,
Yep.
because yeah, those helped you either get the new cattle, or helped you build the buildings, or helped you go on the train, which were, like I said, kind of the big three actions. So if you kind of just didn't have them come out of your deck yet by the time you get to that location going around,
Yeah.
kind of just out of luck. So it's not like a building up effect like I believe Great Western Trail is. So I think I preferred that more than kind of this felt a little bit more lucky potentially. I think you had a time where you were yeah,
Yeah.
there's kind of these little tokens you can spend to kind of
Yeah.
essentially shuffle through the hand that you've got, to yeah try to get either better cattle cards, or yeah try to get to those special worker cards. And I think you spent like a few of them, and you could not get even like a single one of them that you were trying to get to come out. And yeah, then you just couldn't take the action, which is, I don't know, not the greatest feeling.
Yeah, yeah, that kind of sucked there, but that's kind of the only time. And I had culled a lot more from my deck of the lesser value. I was going to call them horses, cattle. And I think that made me feel like my deck was pretty reliable, that I had a smaller deck and I could just have my higher value cattle, which is what you want. You score the sum of all your different types in your hand once you get to El Paso. I think that's a really cool thing. But as well, having the smaller deck, you'll go through and reach those worker cards, which are just the fuel for your actions that you really want to take, like you said. It's kind of like you just want to hit that point, that point, that point, that point in every round that you're going around. And if you aren't able to do it, it really does feel like it hurts. Um, so I did. I think I wasted like one turn just kind of sitting there, trying to get. I had to buy one of the workers to be able to even take the action. And other than that time, I think it was pretty smooth, and I got to do what I wanted, which for me, I mean, I'll agree. Yeah, it does feel like you're doing the same thing every time, but it was satisfying to me, kind of having your own actions, and it might. I don't know if it hurts. Usually, you can go and pay the person to use their tile in games. This one you can't. You just can take your actions. You can take kind of generic actions at other people's places. I kind of like it. It's different, where you do feel like, okay, this is only mine. They can buy kind of the same tile from the market, but I do like that it is kind of just your thing, even though it's not usually what you see.
Yeah, and like I said, I can't remember if Great Western Trail also has it that way where you can't actually do the action, and it's more you pay them to go over that path.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I just remember there being like a payment piece to it, and that was always like frustrating in a good way. Like, geez, I just need to do this, and now I'm totally misremembering. This is a different game, but uh, yeah, I it would have been nice if you could have, or they would have gotten something out of you using their action spot or something, whether they pay it or not. It would have been, I think it would have been nice to have that. It would have
Yeah.
maybe
Added
added
more
some,
things to do, possibly.
yeah, because
Which just says two player, I guess. I think it can go to more players. So that would possibly add more options on the board to go to. I guess it wouldn't really. That would just be other players' actions that you can't visit. But it
exactly.
wouldn't change it. But I think you can swap where the tiles are at the setup. I believe that is an option. So it kind of changed the order of things, similar to Teotihuacan. I think
Hmm.
kind of has you can swap the actions. I think you can do that here, but yeah, I actually really enjoyed this. Getting to El Paso is always awesome. Scoring those
Yeah.
points. I mean, once you get a good engine, it feels like you can get into the 10 plus kind of value for your hand here. As you can see, I have 13 value. It felt like once you get a couple good cards, by the time you get that back there, that should at least be for sure in your hand. Um, but I liked it, even though it felt repetitive. I really enjoyed it. It was a good repetitive for me, so I'm gonna probably give this one probably like an 8.5.
Oh wow.
I really enjoyed this one. It could go. I don't want to throw out a 9 there. I can't give anything with the Great Western Trail name a 9, but
Wow.
I
Well,
really had fun with this one.
if you haven't played Great Western, if that's actually true, if you haven't played it, I think we should get you to at least play it just to see if there's things in that that you actually prefer more, or maybe there's things in that that you're like, oh no, this ruins it. This part ruins it for
Sounds
me.
like I'd be paying taxes in there. I'm like, oh, what
Well,
supposed to
just know
improve
you're
it?
paying all those taxes to me, Pepper. That's the best part. That is the best part about it. But yeah, wow, I did not expect you to like this one that much.
I did
I
win, so there is that.
That's true. You did win. Even though I made it to El Paso one extra time,
You did.
but you did win. And yeah, for me, don't it's tough because I don't know that there's anything that I didn't like about it. It worked. It's clean. You go around, and yeah, like you said, when you get to El Paso, it's a lot of fun. Good things. Or just pretty much whenever you took one of those big actions, it felt like it could be a big rewarding turn, which I always like in games. But yeah, I think it was just missing that next level for me. So I'd probably give it like a 6.5. Uh,
Ooh, 6.5.
maybe I'd have to play it some more and see if it's maybe ended up liking it a little bit more once because yeah, part of it just felt like it went so quick. Oh boy, Pepper, what
Um,
happened
I
here?
tried to skip to the end quickly. I'm like, oh, there's like 2 rounds left. We got to
It's
get
so
there.
confused. Yep,
Yep,
this is
I'm
how the
good back
game
up.
ends.
This
Just a
is how
blank screen. But
beta, everybody.
but yeah, I still would play the game, especially knowing you think could possibly be almost a 9 even. Uh, I didn't hate anything about it. Just needed a little extra meat on that beef for me. So maybe I just need to get the beefier cards next time. We will see. But yeah, I would highly recommend checking this one out on Board Game Arena if you've used Board Game Arena before, or even if you haven't. I would highly suggest looking into Board Game Arena because it helps. If you've played some, I've never done Tabletop Simulator, but I believe that's kind of like Tabletopia, where you're still kind of having to do everything manually. Board Game Arena is kind of automates it all for you, so it makes sure you're not breaking rules and stuff. I think that's
As you can
helpful in a
see,
game
it's a
like this.
wonderful, wonderful implementation.
It's, yeah,
I'll call
this is not
user
doing it
error.
any favors by showing it this. But yeah, this is just a replay of the game, which is not a feature typically used outside of now. We've recently started using it in these videos. But yeah, we could do a try before you buy. We've done those before, where we actually play through the game and film that. So if you'd like to see that, let us know in the comments below. But otherwise, if you've made it this far, you can give us a thumbs up, subscribe for future videos, and as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.